Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another pregnancy update for baby number 2. Holy cow, I cannot believe this pregnancy is already half over. Well, almost half over. I'm like 19 and a half weeks right now, almost 20 weeks. The last time I filmed one of these videos, I was 16 weeks. So there's been 4 weeks in between then and now, but it has been a very eventful 4 weeks, a very big 4 weeks and a very eventful 4 weeks. So I thought I would go ahead and film this update video for you guys, talk to you about my anatomy scan, all my new symptoms, all of that fun stuff. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you're probably like, how can you already be 20 weeks? You just posted a video about your first trimester. And that's because my videos here on YouTube are a little bit delayed, I would say. There was a lot of like backdated videos, first trimester videos that I wanted to get posted before this one, but now they're gonna start to be a little bit more real time. But if you want stuff that's like super real time, follow me over on Instagram. My name is still Mel's Makeup 88. I talk a lot of baby stuff over there. I have nursery updates, doctor's appointment updates right as it's happening. So if you follow me there, this might be a little bit of repeat information for you. Okay, the first thing I tell you guys about are my new symptoms. I have a lot of symptoms. The first thing I have listed is super gassy, burps, and heartburn. The heartburn has been out of control, you guys. I don't recall having heartburn like this in my last pregnancy until very late, like when my uterus was huge. So I'm just shocked the heartburn is so bad so soon. I also wrote down mild cramps. I've noticed that the cramping and the uncomfortableness happens when I don't have a lot of water in my system. So when I know I haven't drank enough water, which by the way, I'm looking at a bottle of water right now. I probably should drink some right now. On days when I'm super busy and I'm not thinking about drinking the water, that's when I've noticed the cramps happen. As long as I stay hydrated, the cramping is very, very minimal. Heart palpitations have happened here and there. They're not consistent. Maybe once a week, I'll notice my heart just kind of beating a little bit faster. I know that's super common. My body is creating like 50% more blood right now. Daily headaches is something that I've struggled with a lot this pregnancy. I did have a doctor's appointment in my 16th week that I will share with you guys later in this video, where I got a prescription to help with my headaches, because the headaches for a while there were daily, and it didn't matter what I did. I took Tylenol, I rested, I drank a lot of water, and I was still getting headaches. Sore groin, pressure in the vagina area, lower back pain, all of that stuff is, I know it's super common. I know my body is starting to release hormones to relax my ligaments, to relax my body, but sometimes I'm just like, holy moly, like why is there, my uterus is feeling heavier. Like I can tell there's something in there. There's liquid in there. There's a baby in there. It's undeniable now. Like I don't know how people can go their entire pregnancy without knowing they're pregnant. I can just tell it's heavy. And because it's so heavy, my lower back hurts, my groin hurts, my hips have been hurting. At 17 weeks, I have written down here, feeling movement ? So everyone always says you start to feel your second baby earlier than your first baby. I have an anterior placenta this time, which just means that the placenta attached to the front of my uterus instead of the back of my uterus. I thought I was feeling kicks, but they didn't feel the same as kicks with my first pregnancy. They felt totally different. They felt more like flips. I would feel my belly kind of like flop occasionally, and I'm wondering if that was baby like somersaulting inside of me. Whereas with my first, I felt definite, like to me the first time they felt like swipes, like somebody was swiping across my belly with their finger. And it didn't feel like that at all for me. And then closer to 18 weeks, I started to feel more of like the bubbliness, kind of like gas, but not gas, you know? And by 18 weeks, I was definitely feeling like definite movement, definite kicks, definitely. They just feel different to me this time. I wouldn't say that the movement is delayed any, it just is different. I have written down here 18 weeks, 4 days is the first day I went without gagging. If you guys have watched my previous videos, you know that the morning sickness has been really bad for me, all day sickness, nausea. It went well into my second trimester, and literally up until 18 weeks, 4 days, I was gagging every single day at something, and now I finally feel normal again. I can eat chicken again. There's still things that kind of I'm like, ugh, you know, but for the most part, I feel like I'm kind of back to normal. I'm not feeling that constant nausea and that constant sickness. I have written down here for week 19, heartburn in huge letters, hip pain, restless leg syndrome, and leg cramps, mostly at night. This happened to me with my first pregnancy, but again, it didn't happen until much later. Okay, next thing I want to update you guys on is mental health update. And I will say my mental health in regards to this pregnancy has gotten a ton better. I think as weeks progress, as milestones are hit, as I see the baby more, I feel the baby more, as I'm starting to feel better, it's helping my mental health a lot. I think also, you know, we're planning the nursery and stuff like that, which I'll talk about here in a minute, but doing all of that really helps my mental health. Talking about the baby, referring to him by his name, coming to the realization that, you know, this is happening, we're gonna have a baby, and it helps my mental health a lot, as opposed to keeping it a secret, not mentioning him by name, not talking about him. All of that, you know, it messes with your brain a little bit, especially when you're struggling with loss. Now, that's another thing is my twins, their due date is approaching, and I don't want to talk about it too much because that is something that I'm struggling with a lot right now. I'm struggling a lot with just knowing that if life had been different, I would be holding, you know, 2 newborns in my arms right now. They were twins, so likely they would have been born already, and especially by the time this video posts. So it's been really hard, needless to say, to think about these 2, you know, little girls that I'll never actually get to hold. So needless to say, that's been weighing really heavily on my heart, and it's been making, you know, this particular phase of pregnancy a little bit difficult. But I've been trying to keep myself busy, especially things like putting together the nursery, and I have family coming in town, so planning that out. Okay, third thing I want to talk to you guys about is weight gain. So I am shocked with how little I have gained this pregnancy. I haven't worked out or exercised at all, not once. I've gone on a couple of walks, but I just haven't had the energy. With my first, I was going to Orange Theory, exercising 5 days a week, and I still gained weight really fast. By 20 weeks, my first pregnancy, I had gained like at least 15 pounds. It was a lot. And this time I've gained 4. Just 4. That's a good thing because I hadn't lost all of my baby weight from my first yet. I was still about 10 to 15 pounds over where I was pre-pregnancy, you know? So because of that, I kind of told myself I really need to pay attention, be careful about what I eat, small portions, eat healthy. I know towards the end, the weight gain is gonna pick up because baby is gonna be gaining weight. So, you know, my doctor's not worried. I'm not worried. I'm in the perfect range right now. Everything is fine. But yeah, only 4 pounds so far. Okay, fourth thing I want to talk to you about is products that have helped me so far. I have started buying maternity clothes. I have a ton from my first pregnancy, so I'm really trying to limit what I purchase. But I have a maternity clothing haul that's going to go up here pretty shortly, but honestly I haven't like truly needed them because I stay at home for the most part. So just a lot of leggings, my normal pre-pregnancy leggings have worked. Pajama pants, sweatpants, things like that. Like today I'm wearing like joggers, you know, so stuff like that I haven't, you know, they've still fit, everything is fine. But other than that, it's a lot of just Tums for the heartburn, belly oil for the belly. Okay, the fifth thing I want to talk to you guys about is doctor's visits. So the first one was at 16 weeks, and that was just with my normal OBGYN. There wasn't an ultrasound, there wasn't blood work. It was literally just a really quick. We did use the Doppler to find baby's heartbeat. She found it right away this time. It was 148. And she said, that's perfect. I remember when I was like, oh, 148, that's good. And she was like, no, that's not good, that's perfect. I also talked to her about my headaches in that appointment, and she did prescribe me something called magnesium oxide, which is just, you know, it's like a mineral. You can buy it in the grocery store without a prescription, but she gave me prescription strength magnesium oxide, and it's helped a lot. So I take 1 a day, and it helps with the nausea, it helps with the headaches. The next appointment to update you guys on is my anatomy scan. So that happened in the 18th week, and we went to maternal fetal medicine for that, which is a high-risk doctor. Now this pregnancy in and of itself isn't considered high risk, but because it is a pregnancy after a miscarriage, we just are taking extra precautions for things like the anatomy scan, the genetic testing and stuff like that. So my experience with that particular anatomy scan was way different than my anatomy scan with my first. So my first was just in the regular doctor's office. You know, the ultrasound tech did it. It was probably 30 minutes total, and that was it. You know, everything was great. Now this one, it took over an hour. So we went to, again, maternal fetal medicine, the high-risk doctor. The ultrasound tech did everything at first. She was very diligent. We went over everything. I mean, counted all the fingers, counted all the toes. We looked at every single body part, which I remember specifically with my first, I said, are all his fingers and toes there? And she was like, we don't count that. But in this ultrasound, like, she very diligently like counted every single finger, every single toe. We saw where the teeth buds are gonna be. And we just, it took so long because we looked at and measured everything. And those appointments are so fascinating because it's amazing the way that technology works and that we can actually see all of that stuff. Like, how can we see all of that stuff? The heart, the liver, the kidneys, the stomach, the bladder, the lips, the eyes. I mean, it is truly a fascinating thing to be a part of and to witness. Everything went great. After she did all of her measuring, the high-risk doctor came in and he kind of poked around a little bit, measured my cervix, looked at a couple of things on the baby just to double check and make sure everything was great. And he was like, everything is wonderful. Everything looks great. Baby measures right on track. He's in the 47th percentile and everything is great. So because of that, I actually do not have to go back to the high-risk doctor again, which is like, oh, like, just because it's just such a relief, you know? Like, I know they're great people. You know, it's nothing to be scared of if you have to go there, but first of all, they're expensive. They're far for us to drive to, and the office is a little bit scary. So it's just nice to know that, you know, God willing, the rest of this pregnancy should go pretty dang smoothly, and I won't need that high-risk doctor anymore. Okay, number 6 thing to update you is my bump date. So I feel like I'm finally getting a bump, you guys. So I'm wearing, you know, like I said, joggers, so that is a tie right there, but I do feel like I finally, you know, there's a bump there, there's a bump there. And I feel like some days it's bigger than other days. Some days I'm like, man, I am bumping. And other days I'm like, where did the bump go? So 24 weeks is when I really felt like I really had a bump with my first. So I'm hoping by the time 24 weeks rolls around, like, I'll be over the phase of like just feeling chubby, which is kind of how I feel right now. Okay, last thing to update you guys on is what I'm doing to prep for baby's arrival. So I talked about it a little bit earlier in this video, but I'm doing a lot of planning right now, you guys. So I made a whole list of stuff I'm gonna buy for baby. I've actually bought quite a bit of those things already. We're starting to get the nursery together. We bought our double stroller. I mean, we're doing all of these things that's getting me so excited for his arrival. We're starting to plan out who's gonna come visit us, who's gonna help us with my first, when the baby is born. It's starting to get real. Which is exciting. Okay guys, well that is the end of this pregnancy update video. I hope that you are enjoying these updates. I know I'm probably doing updates way more frequently than most people do, but I'm just trying to enjoy it. I'm trying to soak it all in. It's my pregnancy and it's probably gonna be my last one. You know, maybe not, we'll see, but I wanna do all the things. So I hope that you are enjoying because I sure am, and I will talk to you next time.